Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am Solid Blue Sister, and this is.
Baram you?
And today we did a pretty fun show with Scooter and Spanky of Beans and Weenie. It was fun. It was definitely fun. We said a couple of words that we probably shouldn't have, but it was all in fun. And then it got kind of serious, but then we went back down the fun route. But I thoroughly enjoyed the show, and it was time for us to do a fun show and to break it up a little bit. So Bob, what did you think?
Yeah, we've had on Scooter and Spanky on separate shows, and as a duo, it would have been ideal to have them both on at the same time. So we've finally done that, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a laugh a minute, and yeah, for anyone that wants more of Spanky and Scooter, head to Podbean. They've got a couple of good shows on there. The Beans and Weenie show, which I've caught a few times, but the Code Blue one sounds amazing, and I'm really,
I love Code Blue.
Yeah, it's a disco fun. When you've said it before, it sounds as if you're in the disco. I'm gonna have to try and make it. I think did they say they were 5 hours behind me or 8? Are they East Coast or West Coast?
He said 5. They are Central, so they're 2 hours ahead of me. So.
Okay, so that would be 6 then. 6. So yeah, I'm gonna have to, guys, set your alarms and try and make it for that show because it sounds amazing. And yeah, tonight's show, as you say, got serious and it was fun. And I liked what Spanky said at the end there about letting the listener see a more vulnerable side or certainly get to know us better as hosts. Because I, for one, I didn't say this, but when I'm listening to a podcaster, I'm investing my time in them. I also want to know more about them, and I think hopefully the listeners are getting to learn more about us, because certainly with my views, I can only speak for me, but I know I may come across as like some, authoritarian type guy, but I have my reasons behind my thought process. So hopefully that's came out a little bit more tonight. So, yeah.
Okay, so everyone, we hope you enjoy the show, and please leave comments. And we have had a couple of comments, and someone, I can't remember who it was, left some comments a couple of days ago. Thank you so much. So on that note, guys, enjoy the show. Bye.
Bye.
We are live. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Friendly Differences Podcast. I am Solid Blue, and I am here with my co-host, Baram U. And our two special guests today, and I do believe they are special.
Special, right?
Special. So Spanky and Scooter.
Sorry.
And there's no topic. I do have a couple of things that I want to bring up, but before we started recording, there's a word that came up on this show last night, and since they don't have a problem with it, I'm just going to go in and ask you about this word, because for me, when I hear it, and my husband uses it sometimes, I'm like, can you say another word? Can you say breast or chest or something like that? But
Titties.
Titties. I mean, come on, y'all. I mean, who came up with that word?
Well, etymology there. It goes back to Egypt. Pharaoh Tut Titty. He didn't like his full name, so what he did was he shortened it, and it became Titties. And now it's a universal, recognized greeting description of wonderful things or terrible things. That is the biggest amount of bullshit.
Okay, but
I got it.
But don't you think you can just say, instead of saying that word, you can say breast?
Right. It makes me think of chicken. Breast to me makes me feel like I'm looking at an elderly's top, like at a senior citizen home. Those are breasts. Titties are fresh and young and perky. Those are titties. Breasts are extra knees. Breasts are what Spanky's wearing. I have testicles. These are breasts. Those are breasts. Thank God the camera's not lower.
Well, you guys have we can move on now. Oh my God.
Welcome to Friendly Differences, the podcast that gives you all the information you never want to know. Bob's like, oh shit.
I do want to ask, y'all about your show last night, because I will say I was having fun. I was laughing, but I want to talk about this trivia, okay? And usually I do not like trivia stuff. I do not like it. I don't like playing it. But the way you all went about it last night, and you all asked for some people to pop up. Nobody was popping up real fast. I said, well, let me go on up there. Now, how did you all come up with these questions? Because I think it was rigged, and I think that I actually said the right answer.
Well, you see so blue.
I think I was right. I don't care. I was right. And you all told me I was wrong. No, you all said, yeah, you're still dumb.
Yeah. There you go. That's Spanky's go-to word.
We scour paragraphs and stories and just find little quirks that they say in stories, and I'm like, I'll take it. Let's just use this. So that's how we come up with those.
And I'm poor, so I don't want to give away the money. So the answer is never going to be correct. It's like magic. You're never going to know what the actual answer is.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's rigged.
No, it's not.
It's not rigged. It's not rigged. I don't
know. If I don't win,
she's going to play Monday night again. We'll make her fine.
That's it. You're playing Monday night.
Oh.
How come Bob Ram never comes on the show?
Yeah, Bob. Yeah. It's like only 5 hours ahead, so it's only like 2 a.m. where you're at.
Yeah, I'm day shift right now. It's only when I'm night shift and I'm able to catch the brilliance that is the Beans and Weenies podcast.
Well, we miss you, man. You got to get back.
Yeah.
No, it's I'm 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, so I'm into my second week, so I'll catch it. But I remember I did call in to your show one night, and it was one of those questions. It was like a very vague question. Is that the one that Solid's asking about?
Yeah, sure.
It was a good show. It was a good show.
It's rigged.
It is.
Yet to catch, the Code Blue. I've yet to catch that, and I am excited for my first.
You all were on fire last night with Code Blue. You all were on fire. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
We had so much fun with that show. It's just a way to let loose, really, and really just stay at home. If you don't want to go out, face it, alcohol's expensive. And stay at home, invite some friends over. That's our whole thing. It's just jam at home, be safe. Nobody has to drink and drive. It's just going to have fun.
Yeah.
Okay. I do want to. So, Spanky, I understand you were kind of nervous about topic and what I was going to bring up.
Why are you giving away all my secrets?
Wow, really?
Stop it.
Really, Scooter?
But what I will say is this. You should be nervous. You should really be nervous, because this one,
you should
this may be a topic that you just really don't want to talk about.
Oh, I doubt it. Let's hear it.
So how do you feel about Errol Flynn?
I flew on it once. I don't. Who the fuck is Errol Flynn?
No, seriously, that's what Errol Flynn and Westerns. That's what I was going to talk about.
I think I am.
He's only like 12.
God, Western.
You don't know who Errol? No, come on, Spanky.
He doesn't.
I don't know who it is.
You really don't know who Errol Flynn is?
I yeah, thank you, Bob. Thank you. Yeah, I don't. He doesn't know.
But you don't know who Errol Flynn is?
No, I think
The Adventures of Robin Hood, 1937. In color.
Yeah.
Yes.
With Olivia de Havilland, Basil Rathbone.
Okay.
You know who Basil is?
With Alan Hale. You don't Are you?
Well, I think you and I just need to go out for a drink. Let's.
Yeah, let's do it.
What the hell? I don't even. These names don't sound familiar to me at all.
No.
Really?
So
Okay.
what was the show going to be about? Errol Flynn and what?
Westerns.
I mean, when I said any topic, but for Scooter, we were going back and forth about on my show. We were talking about different shows and stuff, and westerns popped up, and we were talking about John Russell from Lawman. Do you know who John Russell is, Spanky?
No.
He doesn't have a clue.
I know who John Wayne is.
Good.
I think the last Western I seen was Unforgiven with Clint Eastwood.
So, what is the oldest western you have ever seen?
Yes. What is the oldest Western you ever seen?
There's
Can we get
one,
into Jeopardy?
Let me think of the name of it. McClintock. I think that's the oldest one.
That's the John Wayne, but that's the oldest. That's the
Yeah.
oldest.
Yeah, I don't
So
think I've
you-
ever seen anything older than that.
Really? And Bob, have you seen any westerns?
I've saw. Are you talking about Clint Eastwood westerns?
Yes, Clint Eastwood.
Well, I've seen Is it Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, and the good, the bad, and the ugly?
Oh, look at Ben. Yeah.
Okay, but nothing later than that. Like,
No.
so-
Listen, I haven't seen Star Wars. I don't watch films. I don't watch Lord of the Rings. I just don't watch films.
You sound like you said in Lord of the Rings. Why wouldn't you watch it?
I just don't watch TV. That TV there, the wife's been home for the past 3 weeks, and that TV has not been on once.
He can do that.
More kids.
Yeah.
I'm trying to save money because the electric prices are going up. I'm joking.
So, okay, so I'm gonna go back to Spanky for a minute. So, Spanky, what is the oldest, not necessarily Western, but the oldest show, be it a movie or a TV show, that you have seen?
Oh gosh. Let me think about this.
I mean, even while you were growing up, I mean, did you watch any particular show?
I watched well Big Mama and I would always sit around and I know Barney Miller, All in the Family, The Jeffersons. Those are the TV shows I remember. Hunter, that was a good show. Movies like Singing in the Rain, Thumbelina with Hans Christian Andersen thing.
Any black and whites?
There was one, but I don't know the name of it. The maid or the servant, whatever, was a very large, beautiful black woman, and gosh, I don't remember the name of it. That's probably all the movies have the woman in it, but shut up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really.
Wow.
Yeah, Singing in the Rain, I think, is the
The Thin
oldest.
Man. You didn't watch movies on Saturday afternoon when it was like 200 degrees outside. You didn't come in, plop yourself down in front of the. Oh, they had cable. Never mind.
Okay, so not to get personal, but I'm getting personal because I'm
Nope.
just trying to figure out why Scooter knows certain things and Spanky you don't in terms of TV shows and stuff. You all are about the same age, right?
No, Scooter's way older than me.
I'm like his. I could be his father, but I don't want to be.
Yeah,
We're not
Okay.
blood test.
Okay.
doesn't make it good that we look the same.
I mean, okay, because so you never. Okay, let me ask this because Bob said that he has not. You have heard of Leave It to Beaver, right?
Oh yeah. Leave It to Beaver.
Have
Andy,
you seen any reruns of Leave It to Beaver?
I haven't seen the reruns. I can't say I watch it now at all. No.
Okay, all right. I find that fascinating.
I just remembered I've watched a lot of Fred Astaire movies, and because since I've met the wife, she's obsessed with Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. She'll often throw them on when she's staying at home or she's off sick, and she'll throw them on. And the other ones are what's the other ones? Vincent Price, a couple of his movies, really weird movies. There's one in particular that sticks in my mind. the tickler or something. It's like a thing that makes you laugh and it comes out your body. It's a bit weird.
Well, Vincent Price was known for those type of movies.
Yeah.
So
I saw the
Yeah.
tip, but it had nothing to do with any of that stuff.
That was a real life person.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. Only because you brought up Vincent Price, it's interesting how he evolved from being a really serious actor into B movies, where he was, doing all this horror stuff, where before he was a really serious, actor. But I have a trivia for you guys.
Rigged.
Yes.
But there's no money involved. Friendly differences. We are po. Okay, we are po. Okay. So here is a trivia for you. What TV show, sitcom? So I'm giving you that. Had the longest running audience laugh in history.
Wow, that's deep. We'll confirm for a minute.
Say that again. What is it?
What sitcom had the and Scooter? Stop looking it up.
I'm not. I'm conferring with my co-host.
Okay, all right. I want to see some hands here, so you all are not looking it up. All right. So, what sitcom had the longest running laugh, audience laugh?
Mork and Mindy.
No.
Is that laugh track or
No, live audience laugh.
live?
And hey, Saba, how are you? And no, it was not All in the Family.
No,
Three's Company.
no.
Nope.
It was filmed before a live studio audience, so it couldn't be any of those Norman Lear.
Saturday Night Live.
No.
Nope. I would put it like this: black and white.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
I Love Lucy.
Nope.
What?
Nope.
Honeymooners.
Nope.
Black and white
Nope.
with a
Nope,
lot
D.
of
Nope,
audience.
D.
Laugh
Nope, D.
track.
And here I am doing a trivia show, and I don't like trivia.
Wow,
Nope.
you hate
Nope.
trivia.
This
Nope.
is.
So
I'm trying to think of any other black and white.
and D. Mary Tyler Moore was color.
But okay, the Dick Van Dyke Show was not in color; it was black and white. Is that it?
Dick Van Dyke. What do you remember the episode?
No, I do not remember the episode.
Oh, you're
Season 3,
I am-
episode 1, called "That's My Boy." When Rob and Laura brought home their son, and Rob kept saying, "There's something about this baby. This is not our baby." And she was like, "Oh, Rob, this is our baby. This is our baby." Whatever. And then he says, "No, I'm telling you, there's something about this baby. It's not ours." And the very last scene, when Greg Morris, when the other couple who was in the hospital at the same time that Laura was, when they came over, rang the doorbell, came through the door, and they were a black couple. And that had the longest running audience laughter, that the audience just kept. It went on for like 10 minutes because they thought that was so funny, and it was groundbreaking because it was so risque. Now, what is the second longest running?
We suck at trivia. Why are you asking these questions?
Oh.
No, I mean, because actually Saba got, All in the Family was the second one, where Sammy Davis Jr. was on there and he was about to leave. And remember when he kissed Archie?
Oh, that's right.
I remember that.
Eyes almost popped out of his head.
Eyes almost popped out of his head.
That's
come
right.
on. Oh.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I never knew Dick Van Dyke had his own sitcom. That's news to me. Is it good? Is it good?
I thought
that was on for what, like 8 seasons? Are you kidding me?
Look at the date, 1961 to 1969, is it?
I mean, but it was like, are you serious?
I wasn't even thought about
transgender. I wasn't really sure what it was. Dick Van Dyke. I didn't know. Transgender, confused. It was a porn name.
Is it worth
Oh
watching?
my goodness. I mean, you had now you've heard about the Andy Griffith Show, haven't you, Bob?
No.
Wow.
have to remember how old I am or how young I am.
But I saw stuff. I mean, Leave It to Beaver wasn't on when I was on, but I still watched it. I mean,
Yeah.
it came on reruns. Is that thing they call reruns? You don't see things on reruns?
No, maybe it's because I'm from the UK as well. Maybe we didn't because I mean we had the Cosby Show when I was young. We had Genie. Was it the
I Dream of Jeannie.
I Dream of Genie? We had the Monsters, Lily Monster, and that's a classic. I love that one. No, Friends was obviously on a Friday night. I mean,
Friends. Yeah.
That's about it, really.
You watched Days of Wine and Roses, didn't you? Those kind of shows, Midsummer Murders, and those weird things.
Yeah.
Days of Wine and Roses. That was a dark movie.
There was it's a comedy. Are you listening to the squirrel in the studio?
Fuck that is?
Yeah, we got a squirrel in the studio.
Oh my God.
Building a home, and right there. Yeah,
Sounds like he's gonna bust through that wall, man.
He's coming after you.
Jeez. Okay, Sava has a question.
That scares me.
Who knows why people call Richard Dick? That's a good question because I don't know.
Wow.
Why do they call a Richard Dick?
Uh-huh.
Well, you know, it's weird because actually I'm called Dick a lot, but my name is Spanky.
It's true. That is true.
So I think it's just maybe I got nothing on that one. That's good.
I have no.
I think it's because Richard shortens to Rick, so then it's just Rick the Dick. It's rhyme.
I don't know.
You know, okay, so in Old English terminology, the R and the D, they look kind of like the same, and then nobody really knew how to spell. So, you know, when the peasants in the Old English times came out, they would just refer to, you know, like Richard the Lionhearted, he was just a dick. That's They didn't know what. Took all the money, he went to France, partied down, and then he died before he got home.
That could be. That could be. So, okay, so why is Robert Bob instead of, I mean, it can either be Rob.
There we go. That's right. Rob, Bob, Rick, Dick. It's just
R in Middle Old English, you know.
That's about right. That's about
Spanky. Right. See, we're right there.
Spanky.
You see how that works?
Scooter.
It's the etymology of the English language with a little bit of Arabic thrown in, and maybe
how do you bullshit your way through anything? You're amazing.
I am amazing. You hadn't figured that out yet?
I think you could.
I think we're getting divorced on Solid Blue and Bahram Used. I want to divorce you. Fat. Anyway,
I'm taking the house.
You get Moth, you get the house. Just remember,
I'll take the car.
So guys, I have to ask, how long have you guys known each other?
I was gonna ask that.
Weeks. 3 weeks?
About almost a month.
Almost a month.
Almost a month. Okay, all right. Because you all just seem to have this relationship.
We've known each other probably, gosh, honestly.
Can you put a number to it?
Let me think here. Hang on.
Let's count on your. I'd say take off your shoes and count, but
I'm going to guess 5 years.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Actually, 6.
6 years. Okay.
Yeah,
6 years.
Really? Because you guys seem like you all have known each other for like 30, 40 years.
Well, past lives don't count. We don't consider past lives in this relationship.
No.
So.
Plus, we sleep with our socks on, so that doesn't make us like a couple.
When did you start doing that?
Because I didn't want to be labeled.
I don't sleep with mine on.
Exactly.
That's just weird. God, things I'm learning about you. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Or sorry, I sleep with my a sock on.
The other one's on the doorknob so nobody comes in. Anybody remember that trick? Yeah, there's trivia for you.
A sock on a doorknob?
Yeah.
What was that supposed to prevent?
Well, in college, then your roommate knew not to come in while you were in the room with the sock on the doorknob.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Because things were going
on. Because things were going on, Spanky. If things were going on, you put something out so your roommate wouldn't come in.
See, that's weird because when I was going to school, it was a red light. Like we purposely screwed in a red light bulb in the outside porch light. And we knew that if that was on, not even bother pulling in the driveway. Going.
So your mom was turning that red light on a lot.
Well, you pay rent. What do you? Come on, man. Single mother of 9. She had to do something.
There you go.
You guys, I mean, you guys are just you all are just that refreshing
Yeah.
just I mean, just a refreshing I mean, just
When the
you
world's
know,
going to hell, just listen to Spanky and
Spanky and
Scooter.
Scooter.
Yeah.
That's what we want. That's really the goal of our show, was to give you guys an hour and a half, 2 hours of getting out of the depressing, horrible world that we live in right now, and just give you a chance to breathe and laugh and take some of that pressure off. Because you know, we go through it too. We know we live. I mean, we know what it's like out there too. So we just want to have fun and let everybody just kind of relax, take a deep breath, laugh with us, just know that it could always be worse. Trust me, because we've got stories to back that up. But that was our goal, was just to get away for that hour and a half, 2 hours, and just have some fun.
And not be political and not be divisive, to be unifying. We're a unification team here.
I mean, Biden still sucks, but I'm just saying, you know, we're not real political.
Don't go there.
Wow.
Titties, quick,
Titties.
Titties.
Bring it back home.
There
Thank
you
you,
go,
Bob.
Bob.
There. Yeah.
He says it a lot better with that accent. Say it again.
Say it again.
Titties.
Yeah. He said it with authority too. He's like,
How come I'm not recording this?
I don't know.
What the hell's wrong
we
with
could
you?
have used that line right there.
I
That
know.
would've been perfect.
Slippery nipple and titties.
And titties.
That would have been perfect. Yeah. A little Sean Connery titty. Say it again. Yeah.
Titties.
Ah!
I want to hear what my sister say. Go ahead.
I can't get that out of my head. You know, have you seen the meme of the little guy with the corn? I like corn.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I haven't seen that one.
Because you know, I'm thinking of that is because titty sounds like turtles, and there was the other one that's like, I like turtles.
Turtles. That's a strange segue there,
Wow,
Bob.
who the hell connects turtles to titties?
Turtles.
What is that?
So
I mean,
random.
Big lump of knobs. I can go from there to titties, but not. Wow.
I just don't get that word. I mean, it's just like can you say something else besides that? It just sounds so.
Right, listen, Solid Blue said, try saying it once. Just say it.
I've said it.
Go ahead. Say it real quick. Just say it.
Go ahead.
Breast.
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 Breast. Titties. Please say it. Titties.
Okay, so think about this, Solid. Before you even utter the word, think about walking up to your husband, tall, statuesque man. Say,
know?
show me your titties, and just say it. Go ahead. Come
Oh
on.
my God, I would die. I would die. Well, let me ask you this, Solid Blue Sister. Do you prefer dick or penis?
Penis.
No schlong? What?
She's lying. Did you do the delay?
No, I don't say that word. I don't say that, and I don't say the C word. Some people say the C word. I don't say
We're not
that.
from the United Kingdom or
Wow, we
Australia,
don't
so
say the C word.
that's an off limits word for us. Over there, everybody says it. It's great.
That's like common greeting over there.
Yeah.
Hey,
I like to say tiddle for penis, but it often gets laughed at because it's like
Well, you
it's
said
immature.
you said
But it's just to make a joke about it.
tiddle.
Tiddle.
I'm stealing that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Tiddle.
No, the tallywhacker, that's better.
Come tickle my tittle. That's what I'm going to tell Mrs. Spanky. Come tickle my tittle. And show
I think you have to watch though, because I think tiddle's more addressed to like little boys. Like when you're a little boy, you're running about with your tiddle hanging out.
Span, that's good to know before I just said that. Thanks a lot.
But it's just lighten it up, you know. It's a bit too serious. I like to make jokes, so I just say get my tiddle out, and then it usually gets laughed.
Oh, he's pulling out his tittle. Ladies and gentlemen, he's on the field, and it looks like his tittle is out.
And he's feeling his breasts. I just can't say that word. It's like titties for
I feel like
Blue Sister.
I'm shopping for chicken. Is this?
I am going to say something, and I will probably get slammed by people.
Nah, they'll get over it.
Screw.
I mean, I truly don't mean any disrespect, but I am going to say this.
Say it loud.
What if you said you have, and again, I am going to say this, and no disrespect, but if a doctor said you have titty cancer as opposed to breast cancer, so why can't you say breast as opposed to titty?
You're not doctors.
Seriously, I mean, no, but when you think about it, so.
See, that's another reason not to say breast. That's bad news. You have cancer.
You've got titty cancer, but we're going to have this taken care of in a matter of 8 weeks. A little chemotherapy, some radiation, double mastectomy. We're going to take your glutes and we're going to implant them on your chest. I mean, that would, you'd walk out of there kind of with a smile. Titty cancer.
What do you watch, Nip and Tuck? What are you talking? How'd you know all that? What the hell was that?
Yeah. Age.
I watched that show one time. I was like, I can't watch this show anymore.
I was going to say, wait a minute, you can't say titties, but you watch Nip and Tuck.
I watched it one time. One time. And I saw what the show was about. I was like, I can't watch this show.
My gosh. Now you got me thinking about all the words we say now.
I mean, seriously, but when you do think of some of the words that we say, it's like, why do we say that as opposed to saying this? Why do you say this as opposed, so.
That's it.
And let me ask this then. How did Lady of the Evening turn into a prostitute, or prostitute turn into Lady of the Evening? How did that happen?
I prefer hooker.
Yeah.
Or even hooker. Okay, so you have a prostitute, you have a hooker. I mean, what's the difference? Is a prostitute worse than a hooker? Is a hooker worse than a prostitute? I mean, I'm just
on what they do.
I think
there's a hierarchy that you're looking at here.
It's like an escort service versus a prostitute. I think a hooker is the midway between prostitute and escort service.
Gas cooker.
What the hell did you just say?
Gas cooker?
A gas cooker is a hooker.
A gas?
How does the gas? I don't understand
It's Cockney rhyming slang. In London, dog and bone means phone. Apples and pears means stairs. Gas cooker means hooker.
Gob means mouth, so gob, gas cooker. Yeah, I mean, that's a big mouth hooker.
Gas hooker just reminds me of a fat chick that ate at Taco Bell. That is not an attractive name whatsoever. God.
Do you have Taco Bells over there, Ba?
Yeah, I think we do recently. Taco Bell has started to appear in the UK.
Don't eat it.
Talking about in the last year.
So the Taco Bells, the ones that you eat it in your mouth and it comes out, really fast. The other way.
Yeah.
The one with the fake meat.
Yeah.
The UK is usually good for food, but the one cuisine that is let down is Mexican. You find it hard to find Mexican food here.
Well, because you guys don't let the immigrants in.
We do.
Oh no, we're not. No, you guys take in all the Sudanese in the Middle East, and you've got some fantastic Middle Eastern restaurants there.
Yeah.
The hell is that?
Oh, it's the pharmacy telling me to come pick up more drugs.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry for that brief interruption.
Well, by the way, Taco Bell, for those of you that don't know, is not a Mexican phone company. I just want to go ahead and make sure we're clear.
Would you leave Gato out of this?
Sorry.
Okay. Jeez. Anyway.
So I think you're going to get a lot of complaints on this show. I don't know. I think you're going to get bombarded for a lot of stuff here.
I'm going for this.
I just wasn't sure about the whole, breast thing, whatever. It's like, that's just something that that I was thinking about.
You see, it's the same way with me with dick versus penis. Where, like, when I say penis, I think of an old man, flaccid thing, doesn't do anything. That's a penis. Like Scott or Scooter is a penis. Then I think Dick, a more muscular, strong.
Not you.
Definitely not. But that's what I think of. So
You're thinking of Jester.
That's the.
You're
oh
thinking
my
of Jester
God.
now.
Shut up.
Great.
Jesus.
Man, how those fantasies coming?
It's weird that I don't know if you guys are familiar with like live on TikTok, but they're policing certain words. So instead of saying dead or murder, you have to say unalive. So I find myself on Podbean on shows like Solids, and I'm like almost saying unalive, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm on Podbean now. So
It's really sad the censorship TikTok has gone to, but they still let the nudity, the minor nudity, the sexual
Child trafficking.
They still allow that.
That's okay.
But God forbid you say death, dead, murder. Oh, we can't have that. You'll be banned. It just blows my mind.
And you can't call certain people dicks. And then you get banned.
I got banned for that. I called Jester a dick, and I got banned. Yeah.
So
I should have called him Richard.
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding me?
No, ma'am.
I mean, no, because some people, I mean, they go by the name Dick.
Yeah. No, I got banned. I said you're such a dick is exactly what I said. We were joking back and forth. And and the next thing I know, I went to say something else, and it blocked me. Said that whatever I said went against their community standards, blah 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 blah. And I was like, "Wow, man!"
Yeah,
That's just okay. All right.
Solid Blue, you better be real careful because right now Spanky is in Facebook jail. So if they recognize with their facial recognition feature here, that may be why you're going to be kicked off Facebook because you guested Spanky. Just saying.
Why are you in Facebook jail, Spunky?
Because I was reading a story about a child molester, and I said, "Man, I can't believe he's not dead." And boom,
that word dead.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, 30 days Facebook jail.
They said he was trying to give medical information.
Oh, that's how we got banned from YouTube.
Oh,
that's right.
Oh, darn it.
That's how we got banned from YouTube. We were reading a story about Donald Trump telling people to drink bleach back in the day.
No, that wasn't it.
And what was it? What was it?
No, it was they came out on Facebook itself. They had an ad out there to put apple cider vinegar.
Oh, that's what it was.
On your dick.
That's what it was.
To make it grow.
To make it grow. That's what it was.
And Spanky made the mistake of saying, do not put apple cider vinegar on your dick because it will not grow. He tried it. It didn't work. Talk to your doctor. Boom. That was it.
And they blocked us because we gave
medical misinformation.
Then I'm surprised then that the show that we did on disabilities, no one did anything.
Maybe they thought that was more informative. I don't know. That is weird.
Maybe it's skewed somehow. I don't know. Look at Spanky and Scooter. Maybe that's the point.
Yes, we can read the chat, Tracy. We can read the chat.
I'm a bear.
I think sometimes it is selective because I've listened to some TikTok lives and things where
Bye, Saba.
They're literally calling each other things all the time and they're fine, and they say the words that you're not supposed to say and they're fine. I don't know. There's no exact science to it, I would say.
Well, I mean, because it's interesting because is it an algorithm where if certain words are, then the algorithm is triggered, or someone literally sitting there listening, whatever? Because it just seems like that one person gets banned and the other person doesn't.
Yeah.
The way I'll explain to you the way the algorithm works has nothing to do with Egypt, has nothing to do with titties or any of that stuff. So they employ these algorithms, and the federal government uses it as well. So what it does is it comes through all of the metadata, and it looks for certain indications of words. So like insurrection, blowing up things, murder, killing, things like that. It flags the words, then it delivers it to some bullying 20-year-old that goes through and reads the metadata, and they decide whether or not you get banned. That's exactly how an algorithm works. Algorithms don't start or stop anything. They just identify information.
Okay.
So you've got some twisted up basement dwelling 20-year-old that's sitting there at their computer, and you say something and that comes across, and then they say, oh, no, you're out of here. And they actually flag people based on their profiles. So, like, if Solid Blue's profile said she was ultra MAGA and everything, they would be scrutinizing every word she said.
Yeah.
Well, thank God I'm not.
So
And they don't scrutinize you because you don't go to Facebook jail.
Now, how the hell have we not been banned of all the shows we've done in the last year and a half? How have we not been banned? One show we've never been banned.
So are you saying that you're just talking about the shows on Facebook? You're not talking about actually going in and engaging on Facebook, like actually typing in something in chat and stuff like that. You're talking about
it all compiles into one big siphon that is sifted through that algorithm. So whether you're engaging, when you like Spanky, you say stupid things on Facebook, even though it's just a post and he's typing it in, boom, he gets caught because he wished harm towards somebody else.
I didn't wish it. I just asked why he wasn't dead.
Well, that's wishing harm on other
Jeez, I can't even
criminals. You can't do that. You can't tell criminals they should die for their actions. That's wrong. Can't believe
Shut your mouth.
Jeez. Anyway.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna. We don't have to go down this route, but I would just like to ask quickly, because it actually ties in with the Queen's passing. There's a lot right now, especially today after the football. There was minute silence during the week. There was minute silence today, and in a few of the games, the opposition crowd would boo or sing "Lizzie's in a box, Lizzie's in," and then they would get booed and all that. So what you're seeing a lot of is there have been arrests for speech. Businesses have put in their windows, "Thank God the lizard is dead," and things like that.
Wow.
What's your thoughts on that? Because I think freedom of speech, freedom of expression should trump any being offended. I just think that's, if you're going to start arresting people for saying those things, when especially with the Queen, because I know she wasn't the one actively killing, but under her watch there has been genocide and there has been colonization and all that. The British Army have done a lot of evil things under her watch. So for people in the world that are happy about it, then the Irish people for one are happy about it. So I don't think people should be arrested for voicing their happiness or whatever.
Bob, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So is Scotland an independent country?
No, but I believe they will be soon. The independence vote was in 2014, and I believe it was like 55% decided to stay in. And the Prime Minister of Scotland, which is, we don't have it's a small government. We get to make decisions on local things, like schools funding and all that kind of stuff. But the bigger decisions is always Westminster, London. So our Prime Minister of Scotland has been discontent with that decision back in 2014 and keeps saying, oh, we want to have a revote, another referendum. And people have just laughed at her. But recently, in the last year or so, I think it was actually because of Brexit, because the UK left the EU and Scotland have said, well, we didn't want to leave the EU, so we can now have another referendum on independence and then go back into EU, which makes no sense. You want to be independent, you want to be independent from the EU as well. But I think they're just using it to become independent. So.
But okay, so my point being, after that, so Scotland is not an independent country. It actually bows down to England. Where in that charter does it say that citizens of the Commonwealth have free speech? Can you tell me, just out of curiosity, where does it state that? Because there's no amendments in the UK government. So where in the charter does it say that you guys really?
And that, again, I'm embarrassed by this, but I know more about American politics than I do my own. And you've just brought up a good question there. I'm going to have to go and look into that, because I know obviously the First Amendment in America gives you your freedom of speech, but I don't know. I just assumed that we had it. It was an automatic thing.
You no, you are subjects. You're not citizens. You are subjects of the Commonwealth. Just like Canada is subjects of the Commonwealth, Jamaica, Bahamas, all these other places that are subservient to the sovereigns in the United Kingdom. Even Australia, the head of Australia is the monarchy in the United Kingdom. And you guys don't have freedom of speech. They can go out and arrest you for saying things. They arrested a guy that offended somebody on Twitter.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Well, they can't get to you because you're in America. But here in the United States, we do have freedom of speech. The government shall not abridge those rights. So the government here cannot tell us what we can and cannot say.
Okay.
I mean, they try.
They do. Because
well, that's not true because we have a history of silencing people. So, so that's not true. And I think we're gonna bring up the Queen. I think it's funny that people in the United States want to, they get upset. Ooh, boo hoo, the Queen, who was one of the biggest colonizers. But then America says we got away from that. But America has been one of the biggest colonizers and taking over land and doing things that they shouldn't. So I'm just saying that if you're going to talk about the Queen, let's talk about some of these other places too. Because I'm going to say every country is probably guilty of that. So no matter what culture you're in, everybody has colonized, but don't come over here saying we ran away from King George, and then you turn around and you take away somebody else's land or you do things and so sorry.
Probably going to get in trouble for saying this, and Bon, no disrespect to you or your Scotsmen's women's there. Queen's death, I give two shits about. I don't understand what the big hoopla is over here. I don't understand why we care. I don't understand why people are shedding tears. I don't get it. It's over there. I mean, it'd be just like if Biden were to die. I bet you nobody over there would give two shits if Biden were to die. I mean, I don't know. She died. I went, oh, that's too bad.
Sorry for her and her family. And same thing about Diana.
I mean, I don't understand here in the States. I think we in the States, I think we try so hard to find something to grasp onto and use it as a way to vocalize shit. I don't think the people here in the U.S. really care about the Queen. I'll be honest with you. I have yet to see anybody really care, unless it's an argument that they want to get into for whatever reason. Then they'll bring it up. But I really think people just grasp at things and use it as a catapult into whatever they want to,
Their 15 minutes of fame.
It's just
they just want to become TikTok famous.
Yeah,
it's social media's fault. You know what I'm talking. Oh, sorry.
Settle down, man.
I get a little.
Yeah, I think people need to realize shedding a tear over a woman or anyone in the government or anything like that wouldn't piss on us if we were on flames. I don't believe. I think it's hero worship or whatever it's called. I just don't like it, and I think it is dying out. I think the older generation are the ones who are shedding their tears over the Queen because they've probably seen her so many times on TV and she's always nicely dressed. I mean, my grandmother would literally on a Sunday afternoon, if there was nothing to do, her and her friend more recently would drive over to where the Queen would go to church on a Sunday. Sometimes she would visit this corner and they would go up just to see if they could catch a glimpse of her. It's like, what?
Wow.
I know.
Stardom.
I guess, yeah.
Well, didn't she die up in Balmoral? Didn't she die in Scotland?
Yeah.
Well, people are also forgetting the woman was 96 years old. It's not like she died and she was 35. She was 96.
Yeah.
Jeez. So it was like, you get to that, age.
Yeah, sorry. Let me just slip my wrist now. Nice job. Jeez. God, where do we go from here? Titties.
Titties and beer.
That's the new icebreaker. Oh, that's
the title of the show is going to be called Titties.
That's it. That's a good publishing name.
Titties.
So speaking of beer, do you guys have a favorite beer or favorite drink that you guys like to indulge?
Absolutely. Mine, my go-to is Corona.
Yuck.
Corona with a lime.
Mexican. Never mind. That would be racist for me to say that. I won't
Stop
say that.
it.
Anyway.
Corona is.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird. So if I have the money, it's Corona. If I'm broke that week, it's Bud Light.
Oh,
So
no. I thought it was like Natty or Bush.
Schlitz.
There we go.
Schlitz.
Schlitz malt liquor. The king of beer. Man,
Schlitz malt liquor. I remember those commercials. Schlitz malt liquor.
we had the good
Schlitz
commercial.
malt liquor beer. Yeah.
Yeah. They have no creativity these days. All right. For me, it's St. Pauli's Girl. That's the greatest beer in the world. It does.
I've never heard of that.
St. Pauli's Girl?
Leave it to Scooter.
Well, I find good beer all over the place. And a martini, a dirty martini, 4 olives.
I'm going
Jeez.
to write that one down and have a look for it. Scooter.
St.
St. Paul's Girl.
St. Pauli's, yeah, beautiful. Well,
Did
before they
Goat
cancel it, because
Piss-
it's like it's like the Land O'Lakes butter. It's got a beautiful maiden on the front serving beer
Goat
on
piss.
the label. So
I've been told by a friend who's really into his beer that German beer is the best beer in the world because it has to go through purity laws and it doesn't give him a hangover. So he says. So I've yet to test that theory out. Yeah.
When I was in school, it was Heineken. All I drank was Heineken.
a little Heine for solid blue.
Wow.
That's all I drank.
Do you remember Little Kings cream ale? Did you guys ever have that when you were younger?
What is it called?
Little Kings cream ale.
I never heard of it.
Okay. All right. Well, it was kind of like
God, you're a
Heineken.
drunk,
Came in a
Scooter.
green bottle, but it was strong beer, so it was 7.0 or better,
Jesus.
and it came in little 7-ounce bottles. So they were miniature bottles, hence the name Little Kings.
Was that a regional thing? Like you can only find it in certain parts of the country, or
No, it was a nationwide brewing company.
I've never heard of that.
Anymore. But I mean, that was in high school. That was the go-to because like 4 of those, you'd be plastered. It'd be great. You
Now,
wouldn't.
see, in high school, don't laugh. We used to drink wine coolers and thought that was like the big thing
See-
when wine coolers first came out. We were like,
Right.
woohoo, we got wine coolers.
Woohoo!
Yeah, we drank the Boone's Farm. That's what
we drank trash can punch. I'm from Oklahoma. We weren't very
That
creative.
Sounds absolutely disgusting.
Oh, it was awesome. It's Everclear and every other liquor that you could find.
Everclear. You realize that?
Are you kidding me? Everclear?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah,
way.
no, you get a trash can, and if you were rich enough, then you got one of those trash can liners and put it in it. And you dumped Everclear in it, and then every other bottle of liquor you could come up with. Because this was like, this was a camaraderie event. This was a team event. Everybody would bring every bottle of liquor they could. They put it in the trash can, and then
God.
if you were fancy, you'd cut up some kind of fruit or something and throw it in there with it. And then you just walk by and dip your cup in it, and you drink it.
and die.
And pretty much, yeah. I'm surprised.
Okay. I have to say this because I am a germaphobe. Please, I mean, come on. You will tell me that you did use a clean. Come on. You did not just bring your trash can from home and say we're going to. I mean, come on.
That's why you get the liner and put it in there because you weren't sure what was in.
Even with a liner, come on. That's just gross.
Well, alcohol kills the germs. What are you worried about?
Yeah.
It's in hand sanitizer.
I don't care if you do have Everclear there. I don't care.
I know. At that
That is
age,
gross.
in the 60s and 70s, we didn't care much about the process of getting to the end result of getting drunk and getting lucky.
Yeah.
That was the goal. Friday night after the football game, your goal was to
Nailed the cheerleader.
then get wasted.
Well,
And
that wasn't my goal to nail the cheerleader.
okay, well, I thought you were progressive. Wait a minute.
I'm moderate.
So you don't believe in the 10-second rule, solid?
Actually, it's the 3-second rule, and no.
With inflation, it's gone to 10.
It's gone to
Oh, it's gone to 10 inflation. Okay. No. I no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
No.
And I don't believe the they used to do that past the bottle thing, and it got to me. I was like, y'all keep right on past. I am not putting my mouth on something
Oh, yeah.
y'all already.
Yeah.
And even smoking a joint, when people put their whole mouth all up on it and stuff, I'm like, do you have to suck it into your whole mouth and make it wet? I'm not smoking on it. Like, seriously, I want my own. So
Solid Blue smokes joints?
No, I'm more interested in the whole putting it all in and making it hard and wet. I don't know what you're talking about right there. My God.
We're learning new things. I
You
love it.
smoking
Titties!
Man.
I was a nerd in high school, but I was not a prude.
That is interesting. What kind of a nerd were you? Were you a book nerd? Were you
Isn't
because
that
there's
the only
all
kind
different
of nerd?
No, there's different facets of nerdship.
When
I
I think
was a combination book nerd combination of don't ask her to go anywhere because she's always going to go straight home. I was always that one who, nope, my mother said to go straight home. I went straight home. And on the times that I did not go straight home and didn't listen, I got caught.
so. You were a goody nerd.
Yeah.
I was a goody nerd I used to read books. I mean, I would probably read about literally not including school books. I would probably go through like 10 books a week.
Wow.
Holy
So
God.
you were a safe nerd, and you never had to worry about having to buy the pregnancy test or any of that stuff. You were a good kid.
Oh no! If I came home pregnant, my mother and my father. Oh no! You did not do that. Not in my house.
Okay.
So what was the magical age for you then?
Are you asking me when I lost my virginity? Is that what you're asking me?
Oh,
Yeah.
You're asking. You said the magical age. So I'm asking you. Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah. What was the magical age that you experienced love?
Love.
That's in the none of your business
Titties.
category.
Come on, what are you talking about?
you were told.
It's just an age. It's just a number. What's
No, better question. Hang on. Let's do this scientifically because we're both scientists, so we can do this scientifically. All right. So there's an age that adolescents come to, whether it's in college or whether it is after high school, where they experience their first wild moments, where you abandon reason and you identify the rules as something you're not going to follow now, and so you get drunk, wild, and crazy. What age did
Okay,
that?
but when you say wild, are you including sex?
Yeah,
Or
when
are
did-
you including just touchy feely? I mean, what do you mean?
I'm including when did you go out and stay out all night and said, to heck with that, I'm not calling my parents, I'm not doing those things that I'm supposed to do, I'm just gonna get crazy.
and get laid?
And
Well,
wants to-
okay. Without the laid part,
Yeah.
without the laid part, because
Yeah.
going out and get crazy, and I don't care what my parents said. I was 17.
uh-huh.
And I promptly, when I came home, trying to sneak in,
Uh-huh.
knowing damn good well I should not have done that. My parents were right there waiting for me.
And the
15.
remorse and the guilt took over, and you didn't do that again for another 10 years.
15.
No. that didn't happen. But it was like I was on lockdown for an entire year.
15.
So I was
15
on
probably.
lockdown for
Wait.
an entire year.
That's the Solid Blue Sister's
Oh.
age was 15. I was 14.
You were,
Yeah, I was 14.
No, I was, in terms of that, I was a lot older.
yeah.
Oh, see, I wasn't, man. 14.
I was a lot older.
We were sitting in a field. There was like a bunch of us and passing around the Boone's farm. And next thing I know,
Boone's Farm? Oh Lord, Strawberry Hill. I haven't heard of that in a long time.
right, you're passing that box around, and girl started just taking her clothes off, and everybody left, and it was just me and her, and it just led to that. Yeah, 14 years old. It was
So when did you figure out that's what happened? How old were you when you actually thought, oh, wow, that did happen to me?
I was about like 15, 16.
Oh, okay. So it took
I
you a
was so
couple of
scared,
years.
man. I was scared because growing up, Big Mom always put in my head, if you have sex before you're married, your pecker falls off. So I was like really like just scared to shit. Like I was afraid I'd have to go to my mom and go, I'm going to need a Band-Aid because guess what?
Fell off.
This thing's dropping.
Right, Tracy. Tracy, that is too young.
Yeah.
Way too young. Yeah.
Well, I couldn't help it.
Jeez. I
I
can't.
saw titties. What did you want me to do?
There you go. Oh my gosh. Titties and Boone's Farm.
How old were you?
Huh?
How old were you?
No comment.
Oh, God.
But I was raised in a home where my parents sat me down. They said, "Look, this is what's going to happen. You have sex with a girl. More than likely, you're going to get them pregnant. And if you get them pregnant, here's what you're going to do. You're going to marry them. You're going to quit school. You're going to spend your rest of your life doing this."
So you got the marriage scare.
And I was like, I'm not ready for that. I'll wait till I'm 35.
Oh, man.
I didn't get the marriage scare or the baby scare. I got you better not do it because your parents, you don't want to do it scare. I mean, that's the scare that I got. The old fashioned, you don't do it.
The age of consent in America is 18, is it?
Yes.
It's state by state.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to go there.
So what's the youngest state and the oldest state?
Well, 18 is the oldest.
Yeah, 18 is the national age of majority, which we seem to have forgotten.
Yeah.
In this country.
Yeah.
And there are some states that have the age as low as 11 and 13.
Yeah.
You would be very surprised at where that age.
There are, and Scooter, correct me if I'm wrong, there are states where you're allowed to marry at 13, 14, 15.
Yes, there are. And you would be very surprised as to which states these are. They aren't the ones that you're thinking about: Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, them kind of states.
Not the inbreeding states.
That's the inbred states. But they're very surprised at the age of majority. And now they make a big deal about this.
See, in the UK, it's 16 for the age of consent. So for me, it's like, see, when we've all been young once. Like me and my friends made almost a deal, like we'll have to lose our virginity before the legal age. It'll be a bit, crazy. So we kind of bet each other and did that. So for me, 15 is only a few months before the legal age, but for you, 15, that's like 3 years almost.
So Bob, we didn't get a chance to ask you, what were you threatened with, and what age did you decide to go ahead and
12?
My upbringing, my mother, I'm not going to sit here and slate her, but I didn't have the best upbringing from my mother. It was more my grandparents that kind of gave me the morals and guidance and done my homework with me and taught me right and wrong and all that kind of stuff. So obviously for me, it was the weekends I was with my grandparents. So during the week, it was, time to do whatever I want. And then when I became 15, I was kind of open roll. Like my mother really wasn't there. So it was kind of like, here's money, get yourself some food, look after your sister, go out. I was going out to clubs at 16. Some weekends you would go down the road, you would walk all the way down the road, a good hour walk, all dressed up. And if you got in, it was a great night. If you didn't, you had to just go back home again. It was just like a lottery. So, but for me, I was kind of a late bloomer. I'd play football in the streets till I was 15, 16. And then you realize drinking and girls and all that kind of stuff, and it just takes over.
So if the age of majority is 16, are you able to legally drink at 16?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's 18 to drink, but we were going into clubs at 16 with fake IDs or no IDs at all. And because I'm just in a town of 20,000, so but the nightlife was pretty good. But if you went in and you looked you looked a little bit older, if you left the stubble, you'd maybe get in and you would just stay there the whole night because you didn't want to go out and go back in and chance not getting back in. So yeah,
that's crazy.
So that brings up a really good question. Solid Blue Sister, have you ever snuck into a bar underage?
No.
She's full of shit. She is so full of shit right now.
I'm telling you, Spanky, I'm gonna tell you, if you knew my parents, and there are some people who are on the show who I grew up with who they'll like, yep. I mean, I had one of those mothers that would, if you were not in the house when the street lights came on, she was one of those mothers who had her robe on and her slippers walking down the street to get you. But even she didn't have to get you because the neighbors
Yeah.
were telling
Yeah.
on you, whatever. And
Yeah.
then when you came home and the street lights were on, you had to ask permission if I can go back outside, but I could not move off that front porch.
Yeah.
So
So what's the worst thing you did as a kid? The list is long.
the worst thing that I did,
Titties.
well, you know what? It's probably even not something. When I think about it now, it's not that big. But my sister and I were over. My cousins were in town. My cousins from California were in town, and we were smoking. And I must have been about maybe 11. So my sister would have been 13. My cousin was 12, and her sister was 14. And
Wow.
they were like, come on, why don't you guys smoke? And my sister was like, no, we can't do that. We can't. And they're like, oh, come on. And they, they kept talking. We're like, oh, okay. Well, their bigger sister, who was like 22 or something, she came home and she caught us.
Uh-oh.
And the other two were like, oh, she's not going to tell. Well, she did. And when my father came to pick us up, it was like they told my father didn't say anything. He was like, just get in the car, we are going home. He didn't say anything the entire way. My sister and I are like going, we hope he doesn't tell mom, whatever. And we went to the house, whatever. It was a regular night, had dinner, whatever. Nothing happened. That next morning when we got up, my parents were in the living room and said, come here. And it was, it's just that we just didn't do that. It was just that these are things that you just don't do. And I even cut school. I cut school in my senior year to go to this boys' school.
Uh-oh, here we go.
And I said, as long as I get home,
Oh boy.
as long as I get home by my usual time, as long as I get home before my father gets home, because my father would get home at 3:30. We got out of school at 2:45. By the time I got on the bus and got home, I was always home by the time my dad got home. So I arranged it where, okay, I'm going to get home before my father comes home, whatever. So I'm walking, whatever. We're crossing the street, whatever. Who's going down the street in her car? My mother. She sees me. She puts her hand out the window and does this.
Oh.
And I was like, do I go home or do I just go to the school? I said, I'm in trouble anyway. So I still went to the school. I got home. I was on lockdown down again. And she said, and it was like, what do I have to do to get through to you and blah, 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 whatever. But I wanted to do it. All my friends were doing it, whatever. But, it was like, just, so when it came to, getting pregnant and all the other stuff, it was like marriage.
See, Big Mama was that way with me, but I think it had the opposite effect of me. It's kind of like telling somebody no, and they're just going to do it anyways. My ass got beat with a fly swatter, with a belt, with a wooden spoon, a spatula. But
hockey stick.
Yeah. I still have a scar on my head from that. But it didn't deter me. Like I was like, okay, I got in trouble yesterday for it, but today I'm gonna try it again. And I don't know. It was weird. Now I never had a dad in my life, and sometimes I wonder if that would have played a different role at that time.
Well, I will say that I was closer to my father than I was my mother, and a lot of it was because I spent a lot of time with my father growing up. He took me to doctor's appointments. He took me to, when I was just going through different stuff, to piano lessons, braces, the I mean, I did the ballet and all the other stuff. He was the one that took me because my mom, she worked in Indiana. So, just in terms of distance, whatever. But I was, always around my father. So it was always like, I didn't want to disappoint him. So whenever it was like, are you going to tell, which one do you want to tell? When we tell daddy, he won't go so hard on us, but then he'll tell her, we'll get in trouble. Or if you tell her, you tell my mother first, then she'll tell him, whatever. But for me, it was like, I didn't want to disappoint my father, more so. Whereas my mother, I pushed her a little bit more. But my sister and I, we are as different as night and day. I mean, she, she would never have snuck out. She never would have, snuck out of school, whatever. I was the one who was always pushing the envelope.
Yeah. Baby of the family. Get away with everything.
So, Bob, I'm curious then with your situation. You said growing up was tough. Your mom wasn't the best. Your grandparents basically raised you. I'm assuming you had no dad in the picture either.
Yeah, that's why I was nodding when you said that there. And this is a great. So I wish we kind of started with this because I can tell you guys are, me and Solid go back and forth on the whole parent thing. I've got a weird concept that Solid laughs at about raising children in a way that they will, that they're not going to do these things. I'm not saying it's an exact science, but I think you can damn near sure get close to it where they're not going to end up being abusive or killing or taking drugs or any of these things.
Sure.
And I think what you and I have gone through, not having a father figure there, is a huge factor. And it's not to hate on moms at all, but Solid thinks that I'm a bit, off with this one, but I do think that the two-parent household, man and woman, works the best. And if you teach your children right and wrong and you sit them down and talk to them about why these things are right and wrong, and even listening to you guys, and I had some of it when I was young, when the street lights came on, that was a thing. I had to go home. But these things are being lost now. Now children are being slapped in front of iPads and TVs and not being raised by their parents. So then when they get to like my age, I had no, the way that me and my sister talk even to this day about our mother, when me and my sister meet up, we talk about how we basically were just like, there would be Fridays, we would come home from school. I'd be 14, 15. My sister's 4 years younger. And there would be a note left. My mom had gone away with her most recent partner for the weekend. They left £20 and says, get yourself some food for the weekend. We'll see you on Sunday. So it's like when we get older and I'm in my early 20s and I have no respect for my mother, I'm not mean. I've never swore in front of my mom. I'm not mean. But we were the adults. Me and my mom would, me and my sister would tell off our mother for some of her actions. And it was because we were more mature because we'd been through more than we should have. And my mom was a bit more immature. So I just think that not to go on a rant, but it's like the parental system that worked in the 60s, 70s, 80s. I don't know. You can put any date on it, but it's being lost now. And that's why there's more issues in the world today. There's more rape. There's more murder. There's more, it's, I think the parent system is a lot to answer for.
100%. 100%.
I'll concur.
Yeah.
Well,
do we have
I disagree because there are some single parent households where people do have, good children. And I know some of those people, and for me, I mean, I didn't know anybody who was a single parent or who grew up in a single parent home until I got to college. All of my friends and everything, when I grew up, we had both parents, whatever. But even still, when I started to meet people from single parent households, their mother was awesome. In some cases, it was just the father. Their father was awesome, and their kids were. So that's why I'm not going to say that, 100% because that's not true, because you also have people who have both parents and the kids are basket cases. The parents are basket cases, and in one show that we did, one of our guests said, maybe it's good that dad didn't come home, or he was working, or mom didn't, didn't come home. So just because you have that 2-parent household does not mean, that everything's, wine and roses.
That's what I'm saying, Solid. The parent system, that even in 2-parent systems, they're just slapping their kids in front of the TV. The dad's out working all the time. The mom's having to get a job now because times are tough. I'm not saying that it's scientifically or let me start again. I'm not saying that just because you're in a 2-parent household that you're going to raise a great. You also have to be a good parent. Like, that doesn't just make you a good parent just because you've got a husband or a wife. But
No,
ultimately,
right. But
look at that saying, it takes an army to raise a child. So you're going from 2 down to 1. That's even worse. And the reason that these things, like when you were younger and you were told marriage first and all that, was for a reason. It's like your parents know better. And I'm not attacking single mothers or single fathers. They've just been dealt the hand that they've got. They maybe chose a partner that wasn't suited, but I don't think it's wrong to call these things out. I know I get hate for saying it, but I think if you are a single parent, you failed, and it's okay to say that. You're not a bad person, but you failed.
But see, but I think that that's being very harsh, because you're just saying just because this person is a single parent, but then again, you diss my parents because my mother worked, and I think that's harsh, so I mean, I can say a lot of things, but
if they have to work, then it's all. I mean, we already covered that in our man's world. Like but
the fact still stands is everybody does not have the option of staying at home.
Yes,
and
because
especially when you have people of color who back then they were working. You had both parents who were working. Everyone wasn't Leave It to Beaver, whatever. So, to say that my parents could have been better if my mother was a stay-at-home mom, I think that's harsh, considering that, number one, you never knew them. And number two, I think I had a very good upbringing with 2 parents that loved me, and my sister and I, we came out fine. And like I have said before, and we have raised 3. Well, I have 1. She has 2. 3 awesome, kids who who have PhDs, masters, whatever. So, sorry, but I just think it's harsh and say that just because you're a single parent that you're a failure. That's just harsh.
I can kind of see where Bob's coming from, though, because you just said yourself, Solid Blue, you just said, I had a great mom and dad. We had a great mom and dad. It's mom and dad. You kind of proved Bob's point.
No, but I also said that there are single parents.
Sure.
Who were also good. So just because they did not have that dad or did not have that mom does not mean that person did not, do anything. I'm saying to Bob about me having a great mom and dad was when he said my parents could have done better because my mother was not a stay-at-home mom. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Bob, you need to get on it. Oh, sorry.
Titties.
There's the icebreaker. That'll be the word to change topic.
And Tracy says you do the best you do with what you got.
True.
I shared a video on my Instagram yesterday because it got me. Like there's certain videos, and maybe people on my Instagram will be thinking that's unlike Bob, but I shared one. This mom out with her son playing football in the streets, helping him play, like tackling him and all that, in the hope that he one day becomes a success. This little dude's only about 5 or 6 years old, and the person's videoing them from the window saying every night that mom is out in the streets playing football with her son, and it's just the 2 of them. And I got me, because it's like, wow, that's an amazing parent. And that's what I'm saying. There are single parents out there that they're trying to do the job of 2, but ultimately, as myself and Spanky have just said, we feel let down that we didn't have that father. Well, I may be talking for you, Spunky, but I certainly feel that I would have been a better person. Like I really had to work on myself because I was a little bit more feminine than my friends. I went on a lad's holiday to Cancun for 2 weeks, and I felt I shouldn't be here. And it was after that I kind of worked on myself. I was a bit, man's banter, like we laugh and joke with each other, but in Scotland, a lot of the guys are quite harsh with each other. Like I don't think Americans would be able to hang. That's why I always say, but in the canteens at work or even in the workplace or in group chats, we're quite brutal to each other, men. And when I was first growing up and I was in these environments, I took it to heart. I was like, and that's the whole premise of, I had a mom and I was more feminine. I was, she would throw on Shania Twain. I know every word, like things like that. I make a joke about it, but it's like, there are qualities that if you're brought up by a single mom, you won't have unless you have a dad there, an authority figure, a bit of masculinity. And that's also added to that. Like,
I mean, and I understand that, but just because you had a certain upbringing, don't project it onto everyone else. Just because your upbringing was a certain way, or just because you have to
look at the facts and figures that I posted on our TikTok that a lot of these people that are in jail or domestic abusers are from single parent households. Like there is stats to back this stuff up.
I am not downing that. I am just saying that people who have single parents,
she's raising her voice.
There are good single parents. There are good single parents who have brought up good children. So that is my point. That has always been my point. So I'm not denying, one person is worse than the other, but I'm just saying, you look at one, you got to look at the other. But everyone is not a bad parent just because they, are a single parent, and
they're doing their best. Yeah.
Yes, that they are, and that is the bottom line. People do their best. Some people, are able to do better than others. Some people just totally suck, but so
that was like powerful right there.
I mean, it's just that when this comes up, and yes, but I am going to bring this up because you said it on the show. I mean, he said that I was a bad parent because I spanked my son.
No, I didn't say. You keep saying it as if you were, but I said you weren't as good as you could have been.
I asked you point blank. So, do you think I was a bad parent because I spanked my son? And you came out and your word was yes. Then afterwards, when I kept bringing it up, you started to change or whatever.
I'm not for spanking.
But either way, and it's like I look at my son, and my son is awesome. So
check
just
out
because. So,
well, who dropped a quarter in her slot?
You open the door. I'm walking through.
All right, I'm with Solid on a lot of this stuff, but I've got to ask a question, Ba. How do you, and Spanky to you too, Ba? How do you know what you are missing? How do you know what a dad would be like since you don't have the experience of a dad in your life?
I can't speak for Bob, but for me, it was when I would see moms and dads go out, when I would see father-son night. I missed out on father-son night. I missed out on scouts. I missed out on how to change a tire, how to check your oil, I missed out on all that I saw my friends all doing. My friends were joining mechanic class, auto class. And I'm over here taking home ec because I didn't know any of that shit. What are you talking about? I don't want to look stupid in front of everybody that's got dads and their dads showing them how to do this stuff. So it was just, I don't know if you want to call it jealousy or what. For me, I mean, I guess I just got to see dad and son doing things. And I thought, shit, that'd be awesome.
Okay. So you were fantasizing about what it'd be like to have a man in your life. Is what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Here. Is that,
yes. Okay. And I still do.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's why I'm here. Yeah. I'm now the man in your life. So everybody knows now.
Can I see your titties?
No.
I think all of what Spanky said, plus I think something that can't be ignored, and I definitely felt it from all three of my mum's long-term partners, was that I wasn't. They didn't like me at all. Like they wouldn't spend any time with me. They resented me because I wasn't their son. That is damaging, and it's something that I feel is the main out of all those things that Spanky said. I think that does hurt, and I think the older I get, I think those things will hurt me more. I think guys get sentimental when they're having a drink, or I think those are the things that will probably come back and go, I never got to have that first pint with my dad, or any of that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
But even more so, like the nights I would come in and just be told to go to my room because they couldn't be bothered with me and things like those. Those are the things. And again, not to get too into it, is like, this is why we should value marriage and staying together and bringing up your own children. And hats off to the men who do get with single moms and raise their children, and if they do a good job. But there is that definitely added to it.
Yeah. All right. So instead of all this pessimism, I'm going to turn it around on you, Bob. So
Scooter will be your daddy.
That's right, baby. Hey, now wait a minute. I probably could, because I'm 47th in line for the Scottish Crown.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The Bruces are in my lineage.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, and you know who the Bruces are. But Spanky doesn't. But instead of all this pessimism, all right, you've identified all of the things that you didn't like, that didn't happen for you, that you didn't get when you were a small boy. We're not going to talk about Spanky because he did a lot of other things that small boys should never do. But so now you have a framework with which to work by. So when you have those little crumb crunchers and rugrats, you know what you want to do to make their life rich and fulfilled. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly how I
So
raised
why
mine.
worry about the past? Is the past. You know what happened in the past. There's a ton of bad things going on in the past. Learn from it. So from this day forward, when you and your lovely bride decide that it's time to procreate and
Have sex.
Get laid and take it to fruition.
Put the train to the tunnel.
Oh my Lord! Would you just stop it?
Sorry.
Can you silence him?
Go ahead.
Solid.
Sorry.
Just mute him.
Sorry.
So you know what it is that you want the life to look like for your children, and you understand that going forward, you are not going to be perfect, young man. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to miss that chorus event where your little one is singing that solo horribly, where everybody films it and laughs and put it on TikTok and everything. You're going to miss it. That's going to hurt. That's going to ache in your bones.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure is.
But you can recover from that, because everybody has experiences in life, good or bad. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I say we move forward. I say learn from the past. Don't dwell on it.
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore.
That's true. Forget it.
Everybody dwells on the
you're
past right
Screw
now.
that. Screw that. I hate the world because it was bad to me.
Yes. No, not you. Your grandma's grandma.
That's okay. You're right. Yeah. My squat mother, dadgum her. Man. She got thrown out of her teepee. Yeah.
Titties.
All right. Never mind.
Titties. No, that was good. I mean, there's obviously a difference between people. Like my mom, my sister has obviously gone through the same as me, and my sister now has two beautiful young boys, and she is the best mother that I can. Like, she honestly is. She does everything with them, and she's raising them. They're so good, and it's almost like, where did that come from? Because I believe in learned behavior. So my sister has kind of broke that mold. She's obviously gone the right way, where she's seen the bad in how she was brought up and decided, I'm not going to let that happen. And she's gone in the right direction. And I think that's the difference between a lot of people. And I don't know yet why that is, but I think some people would just see that as normal behavior and then parrot it when they get older. And then some people go, I'm not going to repeat that mistake and go the right way.
Now, is she married?
She's engaged.
Engaged. Okay.
So 20th century woman. So we're cool with that, aren't we?
Yeah. That's fine.
So Scooter, I have to disagree with you when you said
you're a dick.
that you're going
I'm rich.
that you're going to miss, that school play where, your kid is singing off key and, whatever.
Yep.
I have to pat myself on the back. Before my son was homeschooled starting in fifth grade, I went to every single performance, sat through sometimes two of them, which I did not want to do. Some of them were boring as I don't know whatever. But I told my son that both him and my dad, or his dad, we would always be there. And we were there. We went to we never missed a performance, soccer game, whatever it was. We were there. And I get that from my parents, because when my sister, out of all the things that we were involved in, whatever, my parents were always there. They came to every performance. They came to everything. There was one where I was a disaster, whatever, and they're standing there clapping and, whatever. So they showed up, and a lot of other parents also showed up. So you don't necessarily have to miss it. And there were times when, my father, he, when he was working those two jobs, whatever, he would not go to one to make sure that he showed up for me and my sister. So.
And I applaud that, but I think I'm going to have to push back and disagree friendly, like here, just a little bit, because what if you're that parent that's doing something? I'm sorry, read the comments. Oh, yeah. Pictures.
This is Crucible.
Of course. Crucible. Hey, Judy, I'm glad you could come.
Hi.
So what if you're that solid? What if you're that one parent that isn't able to make every little play, every little orchestra performance and everything because you're half a world away? And you're sitting in a desert and you're getting pictures from the other parent saying, "Oh, they sure missed you today, and wish you could be here."
Wow.
And you can't always make those performances, and
I understand that, and like you said, you do explain and say, that I'm not able to do this and this and this. But what's the difference between you not being able to make that performance because you're doing another job, as opposed to you being at work, having to go to a job every day, whatever. So you may not be there, whatever. That doesn't mean that you are a bad parent.
Okay, I'm just wanting to qualify that because
no, but what you said to explain. So yeah, you tell them that I'm not going to be able to make every performance, whatever. Yeah.
No, I don't think that makes bad parents. And then there's just bad parents that don't show up. Happens.
I just tell my kids I was busy burying the hooker. They totally understand. It's all good.
All right, so we are at the 1:35 mark. So I'm going to ask, is there anyone who has been in chat? If you guys want to join the panel, if so, I will put the link in. I will put the link in chat, and whoever gets here first, that is who I'm going to add. If not, then we'll just keep going. So hold on one second.
Holding titties.
And we will see if you guys, all y'all got to do is click on it if you all want to join the panel.
How many people are actually right now, like watching, listening, whatever?
Yeah, this is not just us.
I don't have I'm not looking at the stats, so I'm not sure. At one point, Tracy says, "Am I the only one here?" And then who popped on? Someone popped on, and D popped on. So I don't know if there are people listening; they're just not in the chat.
Yeah.
So
you didn't tell us in our rider that this was going to be a live show to the whole world.
Titties.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking
There we go.
about. All right.
Titties and beer.
Oh, God.
Titties and beer.
Jesus. Oh, now we got him started.
And here comes Grid. Grid is it? Grid, you're showing up late, Grid.
Hey, Kaba.
So does anybody want to join us? Going once, going twice. Anybody want to come up?
Nobody
Now with
wants to
Beans
be
and
here
Wheaties
with
here, yeah.
not with Spanky here.
Yeah.
Maybe Scooter alone, but you know
That Spanky fella's weird.
he's weird. Solid. You got to get your guitar, and you got to sit down there. We got to come up. We can come up with some great lyrics and
Jam
things.
session.
Yes.
You know what?
Yeah.
We
Do it
can
now,
do
do
that.
it now.
It will not be on this show, but we can do that. So I have a couple of people who have asked me that. In fact, I was playing with my niece the other night. She plays, and we were both playing. So
I can join
You guys
it.
need to draw out and do a Friendly Differences theme song that we can play on our song on our.
Yeah. I can play the skin flute.
do you know what Grit? I don't know what you mean by this. Do you all know what he means? Is this New Zealand talk?
I'm not saying.
I mean, tell me. I mean, we're already talking about titties, so
What's he saying?
I don't know what that means. Dax, I don't know what that means.
I think he just called my mom a whore. What that is?
No.
What the hell?
Yes, Tracy, you will be on camera. But if you don't want to have your camera on, you can turn your camera off. But if you want to pop up, yes, you can. But
He was one of
again,
my
if
red
you
light.
don't want to turn, if you want to turn your camera off, you don't have to be. So
Turn your camera on.
Yeah, let's see it.
Come on.
I'm trying to. Grid, is that a typo or is he actually saying something?
I think it means titties in South Africa.
Well, he mistyped it. And he's just talking about days. I don't know why he's talking about days, but no. Yeah. So he was actually.
Dagsemener. It means titties.
Is that what that means, Grid?
Dagsemener.
Tighties means titties.
Tatis.
Tighties.
Tatas.
Tatties.
That's nothing. How come y'all can't say tatas?
Oh,
Tatas.
but there's not any good rhyming songs that go with that.
Tata.
I mean, that's
Baba. I mean, I don't know.
something
No.
you're doing a magic trick with kids.
Okay. D has a question for Spanky.
Oh, okay. All right.
When did Spanky start DJing?
I didn't know you DJ'd.
Yeah, right. Well, let's see. It started about 26 years ago. I was fatter and sitting on a couch, graduated high school, really didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And I saw a commercial pop up for a college that you could go to that teaches you how to be a DJ, basically. And
Or a truck driver.
or a truck driver. And I thought, man, how cool would that be to get paid to just play music and talk? I could do that. So 26 years ago, yeah, I got my first gig. It was a morning show, and I've done morning shows. I've done evenings. I've done classic rock stations. I've done hip hop, R&B. I've done top 40. And then DJing on the side, I would go to clubs and DJ, make a little extra money there. I don't know. It's just something I love doing. I've never met a stranger, is what I'm told. And I just love it. It's just
Or
it's
stranger than you.
well, that definitely.
Okay.
That's definitely.
So, guys, I have to ask again because I just haven't. Is there really, or was there really a Bubba?
Comment.
A what?
One comment.
I mean, did he really exist? I mean,
Really
come
exists.
on.
He really existed. He was very, very paranoid of the spotlight. He's one of them that gets ashamed. He doesn't know what to say when you compliment him, if that makes sense. Like you could tell him, "Hey, Bubba, nice shirt." And I don't know about you, but if you ever seen a black man blush, it's really awkward.
And it's funny, true.
Um,
It is funny.
But he just doesn't know how to handle it. So he's just stayed behind the scenes. He was cool with that. He thought he'd record some things, and we just used that. And now I truly don't know what he's doing. I know he left our show and we had that little brief hiatus. He got mad at us because we didn't want to keep doing the show, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, all right. I mean, I didn't need to know all that, but I just basically wanted to know was there really a Bubba? Because without him there and the way you all do Cold Blue, it's as if that's what I'm saying. Because you guys, y'all jam.
Yeah, we
well,
do.
thank you.
Woo,
That's
thank
a compliment. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Y'all tear it up.
I'd like to find a club, locally that we could broadcast live from that club and then do it, for everybody. That would be very cool. That's what we want to do.
Well, the music that you all play was when I used to, every Friday, I used to go roller skating, and you were playing roller skating. That's what you all play. You all play that roller skating.
Funny that I have a category called roller rink music.
Yep, yeah, seriously, you all do, because I used to be on my roller skates every Friday night when I wasn't in trouble. Yeah.
I think what slightly trying to say is you need to update your catalog, pal.
No way. Those are classics, man.
No, you guys, I'm sorry, but I'm not a Beyonce fan. I'm not any of this other stuff. I am strictly old school.
Yeah. Who is Beyonce?
Somebody. She's the Illuminati queen.
Okay, that.
Yeah.
So, all right. So no one's gonna pop up. Crucible, you don't want to pop up, or let's see. Tracy says on my phone. D, you don't want to pop up.
Come on, Judy.
Somebody.
Grid. Because I still want to know what that means. Grid.
Talking about. That was it. It had to be a mistype. Autocorrect.
Who else is there? Alicia, do you want to pop up?
Alicia, come on, just come up here. Say hi. Touch my butt.
We are not going to. We're not going to bite.
At least not hard.
We'll be respectful.
We're in our respective rooms, in our respective windows.
Wait a minute, I'm not getting respect here. No. Somebody get me out of here.
So let me add, just to throw a topic out there while we're waiting for people to come up.
Okay. Sure. Did he ever play your Square Biz request? Oh, D, that was like shows back. Yeah, they definitely got my Square Biz. Yes.
Well, the Nazi.
My gosh,
that was a couple of that was like a month ago. D.
Yeah, we rocked it that night. And the show is very interactive. I don't know of a lot of shows right now on Podbean or whatever that are doing this that will actually mix in the requests as they get them. I think that's what sets us apart from the other people. That we'll mix it in. I mean, you ask for it, and I'll put it in. I can't mix. I can't not mix. I guess I should say.
He's a mixer.
Yeah, I mean,
mixologist.
Throw it in there. I'll play it. It doesn't bother me any. I'll find a way to get it in there.
Well, Scooter, since you have your guitar, and Tracy says that you will bite, you want to take us out with some music? And Scooter, I appreciate the fact when I did my show that time, and you took me out with that music. That was pretty cool.
Well, see, I've only written a song for your show. I haven't done anything. I was like trying to come up with something.
Let's do it, right?
RMU. Solid Blue Sister 2. They have a lot of differences, but it's friendly to RMU. Come on, join in. RMU. And Solid Blue Sister. It's a great time.
Especially when Solid gets on his behind.
We love to hear
cry like a bitch.
There you give it to him, Blue, and we love you.
We still love it.
Kind of ginger.
He has no soul. So let's.
I like that vibe. I like that little.
You like that vibe?
Yeah. I like that vibe.
Oh, thank you, and just want to say to give you guys some more prompts. D says that's what sets your mixing apart. That you can mix anything with anything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, D, you can't. That's you really.
Well, I like the Bob Marley mix you guys did last night.
Oh, see?
Yeah,
Bob Marley was hard because he's got so many hits, and I didn't think you wanted to hear the same old "No Woman, No Cry." You know, I thought maybe you'd want something a little different.
I said whatever you wanted to play. So, because I am a Bob Marley fan, and whatever you wanted to play. But yeah, that was a nice mix.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
So, All right, guys. So on that note, Bob, you have anything else you want to say? Because I've
Well,
been
just
doing most
thanks
of the
to the
talking.
guys for sharing your Saturday with us, and it's always a pleasure to have you guys on. And thank you. Yeah.
And Scooter, I will say to you, I'm assuming it's you and not Spanky who replies to my Twitters, but I enjoy the back and forth. I got figured it was you.
It doesn't answer anybody. Did. That's why I had to take all the social media and the email away from
I'm
him
busy.
because he won't. It doesn't matter. He doesn't even answer me.
I'm exhausted.
We're
walking on
lucky
one leg.
to have. We're lucky to have Spanky here today.
Jesus.
I only had to start calling him, like at midnight to remind him. So Spanky, remember you promised we're doing the show tomorrow. You got to
That's
show
true.
up.
Listen, when you've got 6 kids living at home and you got a 3-bedroom house, you're busy. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
No, I get the busy thing because usually when I'm on social media, it's like at 3:00 in the morning when I'm up working. So yeah,
Exactly.
Right.
I'm waiting for something to run or waiting for a program or whatever. Yeah. So
Hey, and I want to say thank you to you two for opening up and letting your audience get to know you guys a little more. I think as a DJ, what I've learned is people look up to you whether you believe it or not, and they love it when you're real. They love to know that you're going through the same shit they're going through. They love to know that, oh man, you had a single parent. Man, so did I. Oh man, you had a mom and dad that did these things. Yeah, man, we did these things. I think the more you guys open up, this show was great because I got to learn a lot more about you guys, and I felt like that we connected way more on a personal level.
even though I was fussing.
Even though you refused
Titties.
titties. But totally said. So I just want to thank you guys for opening up for a little bit, not just for us, but for everybody that was watching. Thank you. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I appreciate that. Solid Blue and I were doing the odd show where it was just the two of us at the start. We haven't done one for a while, but they were meant to be more about just me and you chatting and talking about where we want to go on holiday one day and talking about how we met our partners and things. But obviously the show has been more political based, and having you two guys on tonight was kind of we were hoping it would be more lighthearted like it was, and thankfully through your line of questioning we've kind of opened up a little bit. So no, I think that's a great point. Yeah,
I like that. Just remember, all music is copyrighted by the Beans and Weenie Show, care of Spanky and Scooter. Thank you very much.
What the hell are you talking
I
about?
do have one last question. You guys cannot post Code Blue, right? Because of the rights.
We pay the.
Are you okay?
Oh, just felt my leg came off.
Oh, good Lord.
Jesus.
Right.
Oh, baby, Jesus, help me. I can't get this.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. I just fell on the chair.
Wait, did something fall on your head or did you fall off your chair?
Oh, my God. I don't know what just happened. The room was spinning, and I saw this evil guy, and
Oh, good Lord.
and then I titties, and I'm fine. Here I am. I'm all good. It's all better.
Oh, thank you for going to the G Spot Studios this afternoon. It has been a pleasure. Oh,
Well, on that note, we'll just.
the camera fell. Solid. He's a jerk. That's all I'm saying. As Jester would say, he's a big Richard.
He's a big Richard.
He's a big Richard.
Big Richard. We love you guys, and thanks for having us on. That was awesome.
All right. So,
Hey, guys.
everyone, thank you for joining us in the chat, and thank you for taking time out of your Saturday to join us.
Yeah.
All right. We will see you next Saturday. And Bob, you want to tell them what the show is going to be about?
Ooh, next Saturday's a deep one. It's actually on rape culture.
Jesus. Wow.
Stay tuned for that.
Rape culture. My
I don't
God.
think we can't be here for that one.
No, we can't.
Yeah.
If my victims hear it, it's over.
Yeah. Jeez.
Why do you have to bring that up?
Sorry, that's what I asked her.
So, on that note, guys, we will see you next week. And you will see Beans and Winnie. Go ahead and plug your shows.
Well, if you've got nothing better to do with your life, you can join us Monday, Wednesday, Friday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. It is non-political. Well, we take jabs every now and then.
We do.
Non-religious. It's just a
And we take
feel-good-
jabs every once in a
every
while.
now and then. Yeah. We just make fun of stupid people, stupid news, crazy news, people at Walmart, things like that. And then we've got our Code Blue, which is picking up, which is awesome. And it's just basically club feel. Just play music. We mix it back to back and beat to beat, keep the thing going for 2 hours. And we do that right after the Friday show. So at about 9 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Okay. And I will see you guys Monday on Friendly Differences. And pretty soon I will have a third show. So which will be pre-recorded. So, okay, guys, on that note, see everybody later. Bye.